How do I look? Because I can't tell. Because I don't have a mirror and I did not think to bring one. How does my hair look? I have to be really careful with this candle here because I'm very clumsy. Very, very clumsy. So this is a little dangerous. Me this close to this candle. I feel like a lot can go wrong. I just have to be extra careful. Hi guys, I'm back with another face video. I think I'm going to do videos where I talk with my face and then videos where I have a perfume to show you without my face, because these face videos are hard. I have to look decent, I have to look presentable, and that's hard. That's hard nowadays. So it's just a bit challenging, and I noticed that I'm not posting as much because I keep trying to wait for the right time to be ready or done up, or at least look like I tried a little bit. So I keep not making as much content. So I kind of have to do face videos, but also non-face videos. I kind of heard another YouTuber talk about how they enjoy non-face videos where you're just looking at the perfume, and I think I like that too. I enjoy watching those, so I kind of want to make some of those as well. So today's video is my advice, my unsolicited, nobody asked for advice. That's redundant. So today's video is why you should not listen to YouTubers, including myself. These are just all the reasons why I don't believe that we should be purchasing what YouTubers are hyping up, or why we shouldn't be as influenced as we are. And I'm mostly talking to myself, like I am trying to de-influence myself here. And since I was writing some of these things, I was like, I'll just share them with you guys. So let me know what you guys think. So like a warning, PSA, public service announcement, why we should not listen to YouTubers. And these are in no particular order, but I will just start with whatever I thought of first. And that is because we have very, very different fragrance taste. And I don't just mean notes. I mean more than notes. I mean like the undertones or like the base notes of a fragrance. Not undertones, but you know what I mean. Like the base notes of fragrance. Like for example, I prefer base notes of patchouli and vanilla, but I don't necessarily enjoy musky or ambery bases. And there are some people who enjoy those more. So if I make a list of my top 5 berry perfumes, they're going to be very, very different from somebody else's top 5 berry perfumes, because if they prefer more ambery, musky berries, I might prefer more like patchouli berries. Do you know what I mean? So even though we are talking about the same notes, the same fragrance note like berries, it can still vary very much by YouTuber, by person. So for example, if you are looking for berry perfumes, or let's say you're looking for fruity perfumes, those fruity perfumes might be very, very musky fruity perfumes, or they might be very woody fruity perfumes. And it's very different. Even with gourmands, I hear all these people hyping up these beautiful vanilla perfumes, but I don't like woody vanillas at all. So I've been deceived. I mean, I played myself by listening to them, but I was deceived so many times by following these, oh my gosh, this is a delicious vanilla, when I'm thinking it's like an edible, yummy gourmand vanilla, and then I go smell it and it's like a woody vanilla. It's like woods and spices and like weird things in there. Things like Lune Feline or even Baby Cat. Those are not good for me. Those are woody vanillas, or those are complex vanillas, and that's not my type of vanilla. You know what I mean? So although we can be talking about the same and calling it the same thing, they're not the same when you have a different taste as far as like the bases go. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm making any sense. Am I? And to take that a little bit further, I feel like since I don't like musky perfumes, I should not be reviewing musky perfumes. You should not take my word on any white musk perfume, because I'm not gonna like it. And my opinion should be irrelevant to somebody who enjoys musks, you know? So for example, if I smell a pear perfume with a musky base and I tell you this pear perfume sucks, but I only think it sucks because of the musk. Or if somebody, you know, hates patchouli and they're reviewing other perfumes that have other predominant notes in there as well, but they're telling you it sucks because it has too much patchouli. It doesn't have too much patchouli, probably. They just don't like any patchouli. So it has too much patchouli for them personally. So that's why I think it's very important for you to learn somebody's taste and how it compares to yours before you go trusting them to blind buy any perfumes or to buy based on their recommendations. So that is point number 1. And point number 2 is that I should not be, personally, you should not take my advice on ambery perfumes, musky perfumes, aroma chemical perfumes, white musk, gardenia, pear, or perfumes that have jasmine sambac, because those are all deal breaker notes for me. If I smell that in there, I'm automatically not going to like it. But those are deal breakers for me alone, you know? So I shouldn't be reviewing those perfumes. I genuinely think I should not be reviewing fragrances like that. I saw on Fragrantica a long time ago somebody giving this super long, detailed review of a gourmand edible perfume, and they're going on about how it's so gross and it's sickeningly sweet and it just smells too sugary and it's cloying and all these things. And then at the end, because I was fully invested in this, you know, long essay that she did, at the end she says how she dislikes all gourmand perfumes. And I was so annoyed because I wasted all that time to listen to advice, to read somebody's advice that should not be giving advice on a gourmand perfume. If you don't like gourmands, you're gonna think they're all gross. You're gonna think they're all sweet. And it's just the wrong person to take advice from, you know? It's like me giving a review of a restaurant for like a genre of food that I don't like. If I tell you that Mexican restaurant sucks, but I hate Mexican food, then I'm gonna think they all suck. Like, I'm not the person to go to for advice on that particular type of food. Same thing goes for perfumes. I'm not the person to give you advice. So nobody listen to my advice on perfume notes that I don't like, because I'm just not the person to be reviewing that. And when you're watching other YouTubers, it's important to keep that in mind, what notes are just deal breakers for them. And if they're not a deal breaker for you, then their advice is kind of irrelevant. So that kind of goes along with the fact that some YouTubers are not even aware of the types of perfumes they like. There is some that I really know by the perfumes that they love, that they really like amber and musk as the base in their perfumes, and I don't think that they're aware of that. So they're telling you like, oh my gosh, this smells delicious, this smells amazing, but the reason why it smells amazing to them is because it contains those base notes that they love. And I can tell that sometimes they're not even aware of it. Or the same thing goes for like woody perfumes, where they're talking about all these delicious perfumes, but they're all really, really woody. So they almost have like the same perfumes, but with different vibes, but it's very similar. And I know because I do this with patchouli. I have a bunch of perfumes that are patchouli based with a bunch of different vibes as well. And it's not a patchouli perfume necessarily, it just contains patchouli. So I think that some YouTubers and some people are not even aware enough of their taste to be able to tell you this. I don't know if that makes sense either. I don't know if anything is gonna make sense, okay? I'm just ranting here. So when somebody's telling you like this is amazing and this is good, it's so important to keep in mind that it's good to them. It smells good to them because of what's in it and what the base are and what their tastes are. So a perfume that I tell you is amazing is only amazing in my eyes. It's such a subjective thing that it doesn't hold that well. It's like, it's actually not like makeup at all. Like if I tell you this mascara is amazing, it separates your lashes and it holds them up all day, chances are that it's gonna work for most people and that it's gonna do that for most people because it's mascara and it's probably going to perform the same. Or an eyeshadow that goes on really pigmented. It's not like, if you're coming from the makeup community, you might think reviews are done a certain way, and that is not how it works in the perfume community. In the perfume community, there is no safe blind buying. There is no, our taste is all so subjective, and it's nothing like makeup because makeup is going to work for most people. So things like longevity are probably pretty universal. Not even that's very universal, but depending on how you apply a perfume or, you know, your skin and things like that, it might last more on someone else. But for the most part, taste is just, it's too subjective to really be able to take advice based off of if something is good or not. Oh, another thing that a lot of people don't mention is how much florals in a perfume are in some perfumes. And they're over here talking about how, oh my gosh, it smells like just like fluffy marshmallows and cereal milk and all that. Kind of like how I felt with Love Don't Be Shy. And then I get the perfume and it doesn't smell like any of that. All I get is a neroli and orange blossom. And I was like, wait, what? Why? How are you guys telling me that this smells like marshmallows? Marshmallows do not smell like neroli. That's not a thing. So either they're anosmic to florals, which I don't think they are. I think that they just kind of don't realize how much they love florals, and they just see that as like a background note, but it's very prominent. Something like Love Don't Be Shy to me is a floral gourmand, which is, it's nice, it's lovely. I think it smells absolutely delicious, but I never understood why people don't mention that it's a floral gourmand and that it also smells a lot like orange blossom and neroli, not just marshmallows. And if you're looking for just a marshmallow perfume, that's very different, very, very different. Another thing that people really don't mention is aroma chemicals. This one I know that so many people are just anosmic to it, like ISOE, Super, and Ambroxan. Those molecule type of fragrances, I guess a lot of people don't pick them up at all. So not enough people warn you about it or give you a heads up, and then you buy some of these perfumes and you're like, what the heck? Like, those aroma chemicals are strong. They're called aroma chemicals for a reason. They're chemicals. I feel like when I'm smelling those things, it feels so unnatural. Like it smells very man-made, very like industrial and potent. And I know that they put them in perfumes for those reasons, to make it potent and strong. But if you happen to pick those up, it takes over a fragrance most of the time, and it's too much. And nobody mentions that. Like, things smell like industrial cleaner, and nobody thought to tell you. Like, one of the big ones that has that very potent artificial industrial vibe is something like Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Intense. That is basically like a molecule perfume with some citrus, but everyone talks about it like it's just a citrus perfume. So either they don't smell it or they just don't mention it. But either way, I think it's important to note. And if you know that somebody's anosmic to those and you're not, then I feel like you have to be very wary of what advice you take from them or what you're purchasing. And so all of these things are making me like never want to blind buy again, even though I really want to. So I just feel like some people's noses don't acknowledge certain things, or I just think their noses like puts it in the background, or they don't even have like the receptors for it in their nose, you know what I mean? So I think they just don't pick it up. Okay, so this is one that you're not gonna like. I'm sorry already. I'm already sorry. So sorry. So I feel like as YouTubers, we create a lot of FOMO. We create a lot of like, you're feeling left out. You feel like you're missing out on something that we're all talking about, that we're all discussing. And that FOMO, although it's yours because you're the one who has it, it's created by all the YouTubers that are hyping up a perfume at a certain time. And there is a little bit of responsibility on the YouTuber, but it's also up to you to have that discernment and to not allow yourself to be put in the position where you're creating this FOMO. If you are feeling it, you know, you can just go to your collection, remember the good ones you have, and remember and acknowledge your budget, because YouTuber budgets, well, not me, but like big YouTubers, how do I say this? And I'm talking from a consumer point of view here, because I'm just a regular consumer sharing my experience. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't really make any money off of YouTube, and I don't have YouTuber money to be buying perfumes like that. So I need to remember when I'm watching these YouTubers that are buying expensive fragrances after expensive fragrances, doing like big hauls of super expensive perfumes. They just bought all at once at Sephora. I don't live that life. Like, I don't have YouTuber money, so I cannot create FOMO for something that I don't have or can't have, you know? It's like, it's almost like if I were to be like here, like, oh my gosh, everybody has Lamborghinis and I can't get a Lamborghini, like I need to get a Lamborghini. No, I don't, because I don't have Lamborghini money, you know? I don't have Lamborghini lifestyle. So I'm not going to be watching a bunch of people that own Lamborghinis, you know? It's a really weird example, okay, I'm sorry. But I'm not here watching a bunch of YouTubers that own $400, $500 fragrances and that are talking about how good they are. The reality is I just don't watch that many that have things that I can't afford because I don't want to create the FOMO for myself. So that's another point why you shouldn't listen to YouTubers, is because we don't have YouTuber money. And another issue, sorry, this also might be a little controversial, is how YouTubers somewhat contribute to this normalizing of overconsumption and buying, and it's never enough and on to the next new thing. We definitely can contribute to that. So before getting into YouTube, I wasn't really big on backups, and the makeup community did this to me as well, where I saw so many people buying backups that it normalized it for me. It made me feel like there's nothing wrong with this, like this is what other people do. So it just normalized something that for me wasn't normal before, and it made me feel like comfortable with it when I wouldn't have been before. In fact, I might have thought it was a little bit excessive and ridiculous, and then now here I am with like, I maybe have like 10 backups. I've only allowed myself to keep backups of discontinued perfumes that I found at a decent price. I allowed myself to buy a backup because I told myself that if it didn't work out, I can sell it. Which thankfully here in the perfume community you kind of can do. Like, you can resell some of these discontinued fragrances and they'll still sell for a decent price. But that's not ideal. It's not ideal to like buy a perfume hoping that you'll get your money back, you know? So yeah, these YouTubers that are getting PR and that are getting money and that are getting sponsorships and getting paid to push certain perfumes on us are kind of pushing a buy type of idea, and I at least try to never do that. I'm not trying to do that, but at the same time, even if I talk about a perfume, I'm sort of contributing to that, you know, because if you're already on the lookout for something like that, so I can't help it. But like I said, it's up to us to have that discernment with the content, the type of content that we consume. So the last reason why you should absolutely not listen to YouTubers when it comes to fragrances is because we change our mind, and we're allowed to. Hear me out. When there is a new perfume that we love and there is a note that we're infatuated with and want to get more of, and then we get this amazing perfume that is so suitable for the phase that we're in on our perfume journey, we're going to think that it is the most amazing thing we've ever smelled, because there's so much excitement, so much novelty, and it is the most amazing thing we've smelled up to that point. It might be, and that's absolutely correct, because we're going through a phase where that is our specific taste at that given moment, and that thing that we're saying, that we're hyping up and saying smells amazing, it really does smell amazing to us. And then sometimes that phase is gone and we change our mind, or we're over it, or it was just this love affair and it's over and the passion has died. And then sometimes we even want to declutter it because we're over it. We kind of had a phase, it was strong, but now it's gone. It happens, we move on. And I feel like some people might feel a little bit ripped off by that because they bought a perfume based off of how much we loved it and we said it was the most amazing thing, and then a couple months down the road we're like, over it, get rid of it. And then they're like, what the heck, I bought this because you said it was the most amazing thing. Well, you bought that because you wanted to, first of all. But from a consumer point of view, I can't hold anybody responsible for that. That's how I feel. But YouTubers change their mind, and people change their mind. We all do. We all get excited when we have something new, and we all go through different phases with different types of notes. Right now, I feel this strong love for like a good 4 or 5 perfumes that I'm completely obsessed with, and I feel like I'll be obsessed with them forever, but that's not the case. That's not the case at all. There might be a point in time where I will be completely over them, or some of those might be in my top 10 for the rest of my life. There's no way of knowing, there's no way of telling, there's no way to know how my nose will change or shift, or if I'll smell something in there that I don't like anymore. That happened to me with white musk. You know, I was completely over anything that had white musk in it, And then that's happened to me, for example, with like coffee perfumes, where I went through a phase where I loved coffee perfumes and I just wanted more and more and more, and I was on the hunt for like the perfect coffee perfume. And guess what? I found like 2 or 3 amazing coffee perfumes, and now I don't really wear them because now I'm like, why did I ever want to smell like a barista? I'm not exactly sure. I might want to go back to them and revisit that sometime in the winter, but I can't see myself rocking these coffee perfumes now. So I might have to let go of some of these coffee perfumes down the line. I'm not sure. Maybe I will fall in love with them at one point. I don't know, but I'm allowed to change my mind. So yeah. I don't know if any of this video made sense. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know whose side am I on here. But I just wanted to share my thoughts, how I'm trying to not be influenced by YouTubers. Because even though it seems like I'm a YouTuber, I'm mostly just a viewer, because I consume a lot of YouTube videos as well. That's how I know everybody's taste. I'm like observing everybody and watching what they do and watching what they like. And I feel like some of these YouTubers, like, I know their taste even more than they know their taste. That's what I think. What do I know? What do I actually know? Not much. So that's it for this video. I love like observing people and getting to know them and picking people's brains. So that stuff is kind of exciting for me. That's why I made that tag the other day. I've been loving watching people do that tag, because I literally feel like I'm peering into their life. I feel like my nosy little brain is satisfied by knowing what they used to wear, what they love, what they would, everything, all the questions that I ask, like, I love knowing those things. I'm so curious to know, you know? It's like when I was into makeup, I would always want to like look at people's makeup and see what they're wearing, what they're loving. And that's how this tag feels, like I'm literally peering into people's minds about their favorite perfumes. So anyways, that's all for now. I don't know what the point of this video was. Let me know if you guys like content like this, or let me know if I should just do perfumes and shut up. All right. That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.